Hi there, welcome to Business Report Writing. This is part of the ANU Academic Skills O-Week program for 2019. And my name is Jay, and I am here to give you my top 5 tips for business report writing at ANU. So number 1 is analyze the question. Now, in business, the questions might be quite complex. Sometimes they might have several parts to it. They might ask you to focus on a couple of different data sets, or it might ask you to consider different aspects of the company or the economy. It's very important for you to analyze and break down the question in detail. Oftentimes we see questions that haven't been fully answered, which means that maybe only the first part of the question has been answered, but not the second. It's really important, in order to get the best grades that you can, to analyze and break down and then answer the full question. Now, following on from that is to give a clear key message. Now, business reports are generally written for business leaders, directors, or the board, and often they don't have much time, and they might not be experts in certain aspects of finance or economics. That means you need to give a very clear key message. Make it very concise and understandable to an outside audience. Now, you get your key message by answering your question. So the answer to your question becomes your key message, and your key message goes right at the start of your report, and it follows right through the entire report. Now, the next tip I have here is plan the structure of your report. So once you've answered the question with a clear key message, you can plan out how you're going to structure your report. Now, business reports often have quite a fixed structure, which means they typically go from executive summary to introduction, body paragraphs, and they end with a conclusion and references. But you might have some flexibility about how you structure the body of your report. But it's important, once you've got your key message, to plan out how you're going to structure that and present that in your final report. So have a plan before you start writing. My 4th tip is cover everything in the executive summary. Now, like I said before, business leaders, directors, board of directors, and so on, they're really busy people, and they often don't have time to read the entire report, and that's where executive summaries come in business reports. So it's important to cover absolutely everything. Now, you don't have to worry about spoiling the content or giving it away. It's important that you put absolutely everything in there, including your key message and your findings, into the executive summary. And you need to write it again for that outside audience, someone who's intelligent but might not be an expert in economics or finance. My 5th tip here in business reports is to present it professionally. Now, again, this goes back to audience. Think about your audience here. If you were brought into a company as a consultant and you were to present a report to a director that was sloppily formatted with terrible font choices and grammar mistakes, that doesn't reflect very well on you. So it's incredibly important in the business world, particularly, to present things professionally. That means consistent heading styles, clear fonts and consistent fonts. Margin sizes are good, as is line spacing. It's edited well and it's proofread. So that's my final tip here for business report writing. Now, I did say top 5 tips, but I have one extra bonus tip here, because when you're doing business, you often have to work on group assignments. That means you'll be together with 3 or 4 other people to write an assignment. Now, my 6th and bonus tip is to communicate with your group. Now, that seems really obvious, communicate with your group, but we often see groups that fall into trouble because they haven't communicated well. It's incredibly important when you have a group assignment to meet as soon as you can, to lay out a plan of meetings into the future, to divvy up or assign work to each team member very clearly, and then to come together and talk with one another if there are any problems or issues. If things do get tricky and you do run into problems, communicate with your group in the first instance, and then you can try your tutor or lecturer. So those are my top 5 tips, plus one bonus tip. I hope you found them useful. Business report writing, if you need extra help, you can come to Academic Skills. And this is our information here. We're here to help you. You can book one-to-one appointments with us through our website. So we hope to see you soon, and good luck for your studies.